Start your day with Morning Edition and wind it down with All Things Considered, only on KPBS. From global headlines to local stories, stay informed, inspired, and connected. Tune in daily or listen anytime at kpbs.org.
Good morning, I'm Lawrence K. Jackson. It's Thursday, September 18th. An audio message obtained from a top official at the Department of Animal Services is causing concern. More on that next, but first, the headlines. The San Diego City Council approved a $25 per hour minimum wage for the tourism industry. Supporters of the wage hike say San Diego's cost of living has risen in recent years and that hotel workers have not shared in the prosperity created by the tourism economy. Hotel owners and managers generally opposed the move, saying it would mean fewer jobs and higher prices. Robert Gleason is president and CEO of Evans Hotels.
Occupancy is still behind where it was in 2019 and actually declined in the most recent 12 months. Current San Diego Tourism Authority projections show continued occupancy declines through this calendar year and next. And it's occupancy that drives employment.
The ordinance will apply to hotels, event centers, and amusement parks, but excludes hotels with fewer than 150 rooms. Wage increases will be phased in gradually over the next 5 years, not reaching $25 per hour until July 1st, 2030. Sesame Place San Diego made a pretty big announcement on Tuesday. The water park says it's moving to a seasonal schedule. This means the Chula Vista location will be closed for several months. Their final operating day for the 2025 season, this Sunday. In a statement, Sesame Place says they're doing this to focus on their most popular times of year so they can deliver the best experience. Reaction from ticket holders, pass holders, and parents alike has been swift, with many calling it sudden. The park is giving 2025 season pass holders a complimentary SeaWorld Fun Card, but Platinum Pass holders, who have access to both parks, are wondering if that includes them too. The park says it plans to reopen in the spring of next year. An exact date hasn't been given. Today, there will be a climb in humidity and chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms as we deal with residual moisture left over from Tropical Storm Mario. The chance of rain is just under 50% as things will be partly sunny with a high around 81 degrees. Rainfall amounts are projected anywhere between 1/10 of an inch up to 1/2 inch or more if there are thunderstorms. By this Thursday evening, the chance of precipitation drops to about 20%. Forecasters are predicting warmer weather to move in by the weekend. From KPBS, you're listening to San Diego News Now. Stay with me for more of the local news you need.
Hello, this is Dr. Michael Lalich, Medical Director and Chief of Staff for Kaiser Permanente San Diego. For more than 50 years, San Diegans have entrusted their health care to us. Our care and coverage connect to provide medical care tailored to each member. With our integrated network of primary and specialty care, we work together using evidence-based medicine to help deliver positive results. We believe in a healthy and engaged life with good beginnings and dignified endings. We believe that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness requires total health, including equal access to high-quality, affordable health care. At Kaiser Permanente, our cause is health. Our passion is service. We work to help make lives better. To learn more, visit kp.org/San Diego.
A top official at the county's Department of Animal Services sent a crude and profanity-laced voice message about shelter dogs and complained that there weren't enough euthanasias happening. Investigative reporter Scott Rodd obtained the recording.
Rachel Borelli was named Assistant Director of the Department of Animal Services last June. She oversees operations at the county's 2 animal shelters and regularly approves euthanasias. In a text message thread from late last year, she discussed euthanizing a specific dog and the department's euthanasia policy in general. Borelli felt the county's Carlsbad shelter wasn't putting down enough dogs. She sent this audio message in the text thread.
Yeah, but in Carlsbad, they don't euthanize anything, even if the dog bit a kid. So that's why I was like, euthanize the dog. Like, I'm so sick of us keeping dogs that aren't going to get adopted. That's why we're overcrowded. Call me heartless, but I'm also realistic.
The source who shared the voice message asked to remain anonymous, fearing professional consequences. I personally reviewed the text thread and verified the voice message's authenticity. Borelli declined to comment when reached by phone. Former county animal shelter employees told me the voice message reflects Borelli's general attitude towards dogs and euthanasia.
It doesn't surprise me that it came from her.
Christina Smith worked in the shelter system last year. She grew visibly upset after hearing the voice message.
Any dog that's going to come in with a minor issue, like, is she just going to right off the bat say, yeah, euthanize it? That's the first thought that went into my head. I'm like, is there going to be any hope for these dogs?
A former Carlsbad shelter employee named Venus Samayoa had a similar reaction.
That sounds pretty typical for Rachel to say. When I hear something like that, my immediate thought is, you shouldn't be working in animal services.
Both former employees say this attitude from someone in leadership could have real and dire consequences for dogs. In July, a KPBS investigation found the dog euthanasia rate at county-run shelters has skyrocketed since the pandemic. Some former employees and volunteers claim dogs with mild, treatable behavioral problems are routinely put down. A county spokesperson has pushed back on these claims and said euthanasia decisions are never made lightly and assessments are done by trained staff. KPBS previously highlighted the story of a 4-year-old Great Pyrenees named Franklin.
There he was, a Pyrenees, and I'm going, what are you doing here? You could tell he had a good disposition.
Carlsbad resident Jeannie Miller adopted Franklin from the county animal shelter last winter. We spoke to her in June at her Carlsbad home. Miller had to return Franklin because her other dog, a Great Dane named Buttercup, barked and growled at him. It was Franklin's second time being returned to the shelter. A family previously brought him back for growling and being territorial around food. Miller emphasized that Franklin was a very good dog in the return paperwork.
The lady assured me that, with the review, he was going to be adoptable, and, people will probably adopt him sooner, quicker, because there's a good review.
But the shelter put him down immediately, likely while Miller was still standing at the front desk, KPBS found. Franklin's euthanasia paperwork has the initials RB on it. Rachel Borelli had approved the euthanasia. We shared Borelli's voice message with Miller to get her reaction.
They're in the business of rehoming animals so that they have a better life, so that they have a life. That's pretty cold-hearted.
I sent a copy of the voice message to the county in a request for comment. County spokesperson Tammy Glenn wrote in an email, quote, "While we can't comment on personnel matters, the information provided does not reflect the values or mission of the County of San Diego, and it is not representative of the caring and dedicated work of the Department of Animal Services staff." Glenn added that the department is working to improve its policies and training to support employees and reduce the department's euthanasia rate. Jenny Wysant is an associate clinical professor at the University of Tennessee College of Veterinary Medicine. She's studied the tremendous stress animal shelter workers face. Her reaction to Borelli's profane voice message was one of understanding.
When people are put into situations that where they can't find the positive outcomes, there's frustration and anger.
At the same time, she adds,
is it awful rhetoric? Yes, and it's hard to hear. It's clear that, you can't have somebody in charge who's not able to separate themselves from their emotions and make decisions rationally.
Scott Rodd, KPBS News.
If you have a tip for our investigations team, you can send an email to investigations@kpbs.org or message them on our secure signal line at 619-594-8177. The contract for more than 5,700 nurses at Sharp hospitals expires at the end of the month, and yesterday they made their demands clear to Sharp management in person. Several dozen nurses with the Sharp Professionals Nurses Network gathered outside Sharp headquarters in Kearny Mesa to deliver petitions to management. Andrea Muir is the president of the union. She says nurses want better, more competitive wages, and a change in sick leave policy.
It's a higher likelihood we're going to have exposure to illness, right? So the other employers that are healthcare systems in this area recognize that. They give double the state minimum. Sharp doesn't feel that that's necessary.
The petitions were accepted by a member of Sharp management who told the nurses they hope to resolve the contract as fairly and rapidly as they can. The nurses' contract expires on September 30th. A San Diego man who landed a plane illegally twice on San Clemente Island pleaded guilty this week to felony charges in an LA federal court. Military reporter Andrew Dyer has more on this story.
According to prosecutors, in 2023, Andrew White was given a warning when he first landed his Glass Star airplane on the island. The island is part of Naval Base Coronado and is off limits. But in April, he again flew to the island, where he stole a Navy pickup truck and went for a joyride, barreling through locked gates around the island until the vehicle got stuck. San Clemente Island is home to the only ship-to-shore live fire range on the West Coast and rugged training facilities for Marines and Navy SEALs. Biologists also work there, with protected and endangered plants and animals. White pleaded guilty to felony theft of government property and a misdemeanor count of illegal entry. He remains in federal custody after cutting off his ankle monitor earlier this year. He's set to be sentenced later this month and faces up to 10 years in prison. Andrew Dyer, KPBS News.
San Diego's largest school district is turning some schools that teach transitional kindergarten through 8th grade into elementary schools. San Diego Unified School District leaders say Audubon, Fulton, and Golden Hill will lose their middle school grades next year. Superintendent Fabiola Bagula says fewer students who attended the TK through 8th grade schools graduated high school and met college admissions requirements.
I understand that change is difficult. I'm changing an identity of a school and a school that matters in a community. I take that responsibility very seriously, and I also recognize that my responsibility is also to make sure that our children graduate high school.
District leaders say middle schools will offer those students more electives and support. That is it for the pod today. As always, you can find more San Diego news online at kpbs.org. I'm Lawrence K. Jackson. Thanks for listening and subscribing and supporting public media. I really want to thank you for that. Have a great day.
Here in Southern California, we know all too well the devastation wildfires can cause. That's why our mission is to stop the next one before it starts. I'm Brian D'Agostino, leader of SDG&E's Wildfire and Climate Science team, and we've built one of the most advanced wildfire prevention programs in the country, with a team of world-class meteorologists using artificial intelligence and real-time weather data, all to help keep our communities safe. We're also building a stronger grid and using public safety power shutoff when necessary because, believe me, I've seen firsthand how unpredictable wildfires can be. But here at SDG&E, we face that uncertainty head-on to help keep you safe. Learn more at sdge.com/wildfire safety.